Welcome back to Kiesel News, everybody. To start today off, we actually have some very interesting news, being that Logan Paul essentially was going to be interviewed by BBC about his whole crypto scam allegations, I believe it's like CryptoZoo and shit. And that's just crazy in itself. The fact that an actual large news organization is reaching out to Logan Paul to, hear what he has to say about his allegations and all that. But Logan Paul has the gall to fucking send a impersonator instead of himself for the interview. I don't care what you think of BBC, if you think they're a corrupt news station or whatever the fuck. Like, that's just disrespectful. No matter what the news station is, you should always, I don't understand. You should just go along with the interview. Or if you don't want to go along with the interview, fucking decline it then. Don't just make them waste their time. Come out all the way to you. It's not like you had to go to them. They came out to you. And then you did this. Like, not only does it show a disrespect for the news station, it shows a disrespect for your actual situation. If you really were feeling bad about the whole crypto scam and all that, you would go on and you'd clear everything up. You'd take any opportunity you could to clear it up. But it's crystal clear that Logan Paul is just not taking the situation seriously. And I'm sure there's people who are just like, oh, he was just being a troll, it's just a joke. And that doesn't matter, man. No, I love a good troll, but not this. Also, you're just coming off the heels of the Jake Paul-Mike Tyson fight when you're, in the limelight of the public eye. And I don't know if this was the best time to pull off a little trick like that. Next up, The Boys just put out a 4-year consideration for the best drama series, and as positive promotion, they put a whole bunch of reviews that called the show woke and all that shit, just showing that they don't give a fuck about those reviews at all. And that's great, okay, there's the odd time and place to call something woke, but most of the time when people go for it, it's just because they hate women or they hate black people. It doesn't make sense, especially for The Boys. The Boys, it's a show that I rarely hear people call woke. The fact that there's even people that are calling that show woke is insane, man. Come on, focus on the plot. And I think it's great that the creators of The Boys are kind of making a joke about the negative reviews, showing that they don't really give a fuck. A24 is starting a chocolate brand named Movie Chocolate, and they have 3 flavors planned. Fizzy Mountain Soda, which is a mix of root beer and popping candy. I don't know what the fuck popping candy is. Popcorn and candy, which is candy-coated chocolate pieces and popcorn. I don't know about that. And then salty peanuts and a caramel crunch. The last one doesn't sound too bad, even though I don't like caramel that much. And then the first one sounds pretty good. But I definitely think it's a very, very smart idea for movie companies to get into making movie chocolate, because it's one of the most popular movie snacks. I'm surprised that a whole bunch of movie studios don't make their own popcorn. I think it'd be a very good idea, and I definitely think A24 is the right idea, starting a chocolate company, or a chocolate brand anyways. Next up, we have a movie that seems like it'd be in a fucking fever dream. Poovers Monsters Assemble. Now, we know that the Poovers existed. That's not new, but the fact that we're actually seeing a crossover movie this soon is so shocking. It's going to literally focus on Winnie the Pooh, Tigger, Pinocchio, Bambi, Peter Pan, Tinkerbell, and the Mad Hatter, and they're all going to team up to stop their own foes. So it's like the Sinister Six, but they each have individual foes. What the hell? I didn't even know that this many characters were introduced yet. I don't think they've even gave solo movies to all these characters yet. I know that there's a Peter Pan and a Winnie the Pooh one, but I think that's it, right? There might be a Bambi one, but regardless, I genuinely kind of want to go see this. I think it'd be an absolutely hilarious watch. Next up, a new streaming platform is on the rise, Party, and it's offering small streamers $1,000 a month just to sign up and stream. Honestly, I think that's a pretty good fucking deal. You might as well just take it and then at least stream on there for a little bit and then eventually just leave if it doesn't take off. It's a free 1K a month, basically. Think about it. Let's say you have, no viewers at all, and then, you just start to stream on there. You still get no viewers, but you get 1K a month. Next up, we officially won't be getting origin stories for Batman or Superman in the DCU. We already knew that the Superman movie wasn't going to be an origin story, but now we have confirmation that Batman will be as well. And I agree with James Gunn's philosophy that the origin stories aren't necessarily needed. I think if anything, what they could do is show the origin story through flashbacks or whatever, just so that you kind of get the idea. But I kind of like it too if they could have all the past Batman movies we did. We've done 20 Batman movies, 20 Superman movies. Just give subtle clues to one of those, and then that's the origin story for the character. Not that it's actually the same character from those movies, but they could have a very similar origin, if that makes sense, so that you could kind of watch the origin on screen, but it's not they're not actually wasting their time producing another movie with virtually the same plot, if that makes sense. Tony Gilroy received no notes from Lucasfilm for Andor Season 2. Now, this not only is a good thing because it shows that pretty much everyone at Lucasfilm liked it, but it's also a good thing because it means that there's less meddling around from a whole bunch of people, and honestly, I think Tony Gilroy just having a vision and then seeing it through is going to make the season the best that it can be, to be honest. Godzilla's coming to Fortnite! This is actually pretty wild because Godzilla's had a live event in Fortnite before, and now they're actually bringing it to the game. Imagine if they bring like fucking Galactus as an actual character into it, because Galactus had a live event. Yeah, I think it will definitely be interesting to see how he looks in comparison to the other characters. Like, are they gonna like shrink him down to their size, or are you just gonna be like 30 feet tall? Or I know he's probably more than 30 feet tall in the movies, but you know what I mean. Is he gonna be like towering over everybody else, or is he just gonna be the same size? Craven the Hunter director J.C. Shandor hopes the film is gonna get rid of some of the negative reactions that people have had to Sony Marvel characters. Yeah, I don't know about that one. Like, okay, I see why you want people to give Craven a chance. I get that, but like, unless the movie is gonna co-focus on Morbius, Morbius is gonna be like a secondary main character. It's not gonna change people's opinions on Morbius, man. It's not. I'm sorry. To end today off, the 10 highest grossing movies of the year are sequels. The entire list is just sequels. The list is as follows. Number 1 is Inside Out 2. Number 2 is Deadpool Wolverine. Number 3 is Despicable Me 4. Number 4 is Dune 2. 5 is Godzilla X Kong. 6 is Kung Fu Panda 4. 7 is Beetlejuice 2. 8 is Venom 3. 9 is Bad Boys Ride or Die. And 10 is Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. I don't know how to feel about this, man. Like, I would say that this means that like original movies are dying, and it just is more proof of that, unfortunately. But at the same time, the only reason why I think the 10 highest grossing movies are sequels is because that's all that has fucking come out. Like, look, Joker 2 is a sequel, and it's not even on here. Basically, all that released, sequels. Gladiator 2, that just came out, sequel. Like, I'm like, oh yeah, Oppenheimer came out this year, but no, that was last year. That wasn't even this year. Like, this year there was barely any original movies that came out in theaters. Like, I don't know. I don't think it really speaks doom for the movie industry, aside from the fact that that's all people are making are sequels. People just aren't making original movies, period. And I guess maybe that just already shows that they're dead, but I don't know. I think if you made a really banger original movie, then you could get it in theaters. It's just that studios aren't giving people a chance. Like, it's not that I don't want to go see a movie in a theater when I could just watch it from home. It's that there's no good good independent solo movies coming out. Like, that's the issue here.